This is the Weber SmokeFire EX6. We're gonna see if it's a worthwhile upgrade for noobs like me, and we're doing that right now. I'm making this easy on myself by starting with something simple, burgers. I'm also curious to see if this thing can make even a simple burger taste better. Then ribs, we're gonna test its performance over a longer period of time. Finally, I'll test high temps and sear up a steak that's fit for Ron Swanson, hopefully, all while taking a look at the app and comparing it to the big kahuna of pellet grills, the Traeger Timberline 850. But first, let's take a look at the basics. The Weber SmokeFire EX6 costs $1,200, which definitely isn't cheap, but Traeger's is $1,800. So you're buying some luxury and low and slow grilling and that smoky flavor you get from pellet grills. I know I need to feed the Weber these pellets. I picked up a bag from a hardware store for 17 bucks. They go into this hopper. Pouring in the pellets, I can see that the hopper is a little narrow for this approach and I'm trying not to spill. I suppose I could be reasonable and use a scoop or something, but why start being reasonable now? Then I'm turning on the grill. This dial sets the temp and then I gotta give it 20 minutes to preheat. 20 minutes is pretty good actually, and it reliably hit that time in our testing. Now I'm gonna use these temperature probes to try to hit a nice medium rare, plug the other end of the probes into the ports below the dial. The grill has 4 ports and it nicely includes 2 probes out of the box, one up from Traeger. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try cooking these burgers. Everything's preheated. I think all I have to do is just toss them on the grill at this point. Try not to tangle the probes. Ooh, and we got a nice sizzle going. Trying to make sure they're over the flavorizer bars, and I just lost one of the probes. My cooking prowess is showing. I'm gonna try to do this without lighting my hand on fire and put this back in there. All right, in theory I got this, shutting it. Boom, professional griller. Other stuff to know while it cooks, you can connect to your grill with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. You have a ton of cooking space. 1,008 inches to be exact, up from 850 on the appropriately named Traeger 850. Weber also uses these flavorizer bars that help prevent grease buildup by redirecting it toward a trap in the front, and Weber claims the vaporizing grease adds extra flavor to the cooking process. We'll see. Time to taste some burgers. I'm not gonna make you watch me eat, no one wants to see that. Personally, I thought my burgers turned out pretty great, even though I kind of missed with the probes and they were a little underdone, but that smokiness was nice, and the underdone part I could easily fix with a little practice. Round 2, let's get some ribs on there. The big advantages of a pellet grill are A, the smoky flavor is perfect for ribs, and B, they can hold a low temp over a long period of time for a slow cook, also great for ribs and lots of other grilling projects. The grill is preheated, so we're gonna toss on some ribs. And here we go. The burgers turned out, so the test is if I can make something a little bit fancier, I might turn into a gourmet griller before your very eyes. This time, I'll keep a close eye on their progress with the app. Setting up the app is pretty easy, then you can browse some recipes. More importantly for me at the moment, I can monitor the temp of my ribs, and I can also monitor and adjust the internal temperature of the grill. Most categories of protein had about 5 to 7 options, red meat had 17. That's probably plenty, but Traeger's app has thousands, which dwarfs this thing. While I'm complaining, during one of our long cooking tests, the pellet flow was interrupted, and the app shot out a warning about a low temp. The warning was nice, but the pellet box wasn't empty. The pellets were just stuck on the side. It only happened once, but it is something to keep in mind if you're planning to do an overnight cooking session. Otherwise, the performance is quite good. In our testing, the Weber does a good job of maintaining the temp despite seemingly less insulation than Traeger, so these ribs should taste great. Following the recipe, we did wrap it at one point and add beer, and covered it in barbecue at another interval, so hopefully that and patience pay off with a delicious meal. Yep, paid off. I'm now buying into this whole patience is a virtue thing. Those were the best ribs I've ever made. Tender and nicely smoky, maybe a little well done, but whatever. Just an excuse to try again someday. Last but not least, it's time to grill some steaks, and this time I actually have to do something. To start, we'll cook these beauties at a low 200-degree heat for a little over 30 minutes to reach an internal temp just over 100, and then we're gonna pull them off. Then, we're turning up the heat to its max of 600 degrees. Now it is up to 600 degrees and it is hot. So we're gonna put these steaks back on here to add a nice sear and finish the job. Try not to tangle the probe this time. And listen to that sizzle, that sounds very nice. And the idea is, it's gonna seal in the flavor and make them taste great, assuming I don't light myself or anything else on fire in the process. Here's hoping. The SmokeFire can get nice and hot, up to 600 degrees. Our testing has shown that the temp loses some precision turned up to max. Set to 600, we measured sustained temps around 640 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot, and hotter than Traeger's 500-degree max. And while a little off from where it's supposed to be, it should still do the job of quickly adding a sear. Despite these high temps, I haven't burnt the house down, so I'm gonna pull these sticks off and call that a victory. Cutting it open, it looks medium, which is fine. I was aiming for medium rare, but close enough, dang it. The flavor on these was outstanding. The sear added the crispy exterior I was hoping for. I'm not even docking points for myself for slightly missing my intended doneness again. They were awesome. So we recommend the $1,200 Weber SmokeFire EX6 if you want to splurge on a fancy pellet grill, but can't quite convince yourself to spend the extra dough on Traeger. This one costs less, has more room, has higher temps for searing, but if you really want to do like a day-long cook with extra peace of mind, I mean, there's a reason Traeger is the standard for this. Traeger's pellet hopper is better, both in terms of adding new fuel and keeping those pellets flowing over time. It's still the best, if money is no object, but Weber has made a solid alternative here. And now, after eating all of that delicious food, I am a happy man and likely never moving again. This spot is where I live now. Thanks for watching. Please comment below to let me know if you think paying this much for a grill is ridiculous or worth it. And please like and subscribe.